Oh, hi. Thank you for joining us for another installment for Caught Between Culture on Africa Canada Hub. Here I have with me my niece, Nina. And Nina will be doing question and answers, right?
Yes.
We'll be doing some question Q&A about her experiences growing up here in Canada as a first generation Canadian.
Or
All
Ghanaian
right.
Canadian.
Okay.
Sorry. Ghanaian Canadian.
Growing up as a first
Sure.
generation Ghanaian Canadian.
Yes.
All right, so that's your title.
My
Okay,
title,
that's your
yes.
title. Okay, so this is Nina, and thank you so much, Nina, for deciding to do this with me.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so my first question to you is this: so you were born in Canada, okay?
Yes.
And you were born to you're a first generation Canadian,
Yes.
born to African migrant
Yes.
parent. How was your experience growing up as a first generation child here in Canada, knowing that your parents were not born here, but they came here, and
Yeah.
so
Well-
culture is different, right? How was your experience growing up?
My experience was pretty, on one side, normal to me, but at the same time, on another side, not normal, due to the fact that being born in Canada, I need to assimilate to the culture, so I assimilate to be like acting like a North American, so we do things a little bit differently than how things are done in Africa. But I also had that side where I had those roots instilled into me from my parents at a young age, so I had to like combine all of them together to make who I am today, the product of Nina. Yes.
That's beautiful. Now, okay, so now you were born here, but you have traveled to Ghana before. Your mom is from Ghana. Your mom is my sister. She's from Ghana, and so, and you've also been to South Africa before.
Yes.
You've went to school here. You've been in school too in South Africa.
Yes.
How was that change? How did you manage to adapt to that change going to school in South Africa compared to here?
The change, it was a bit of different because I did started my education first in Canada. So I started in like from JK to grade 1, and then I was taken out of what I was used to, like North American standard education, and then going into South Africa, they had a different like system on how they locate your intelligence.
Whoa,
So
okay.
in North America, when you're a certain age, you go to JK, SK grade 1, and so on and so forth until high school. But in South Africa, they base your grade on your intelligence. So they will test your kinesthetic skills, auditory learning, your visual stuff, and from there they will place you into what they see fit. And then if you continue on and do the best you can to keep on continuing on. So it's more of you work hard to get to the next level instead of just being cycled through.
So you mean grade is determined by age here?
Yes.
So if you're say 6 years old, you're in grade 1.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah. But in South Africa, I think compared to other countries too in Africa, it's the same story.
Yeah.
That your intelligence is used to determine what grade or what level you should be in.
Yes.
Yeah. So how is that different for you? How did that work out for you?
The learning style was something I really had to get used to, because I feel in North America they do a little more hand holding, a little more things that are like straight through across the board.
Yeah.
Where there they tell you what you need to do. If you don't get it done, and if you're not following,
So is that rot?
if you're not following through, you're gonna be left behind, and that's your fault, and you need to be able to get over that and pass through.
Yeah.
They're very more strict in
More strict?
classes. Yeah, I did go to a private school when I was in South Africa, and I remember there was like what's those boards? What paddles? If you got in trouble, they were very like aggressive. In their discipline, where in North America that's not really heard of, but they're it's very disciplined, structured in a different way because of the different level systems. And as well, you have to consider, without the educational piece, the social piece.
How was the social piece in South Africa?
Yeah, the social piece, getting to know my classmates, it was very tricky. But
How was it tricky?
it was tricky because to them, I was a foreigner.
Oh.
And I
like that word.
I would
foreigner.
never ever, well, I don't consider myself a foreigner, but being someone who was in a country before where you're just there, and then going somewhere where you're considered the foreigner, you're considered the strange one, you're considered different because of the way you dress, the way you talk, your different mannerisms. So I remember when we were learning our like math equations, we had to do like counting out loud, the whole class, and I will be saying my numbers like 20, 30, 40, but they would be making fun of me, saying that's not how you say it, you really have to enunciate, saying 20, 40,
so
30,
20,
like
30,
like
40.
Yes,
Yeah.
enunciate. And
Okay.
I thought, what? Why you sounding like that? Why you sounding like my mom counting numbers? But I had to learn that, I'm in a different land. I have to do as they do. So I had to learn how to curve my accent, per se, to what they considered a regular voice.
Yeah. So you were on the land called Africa, and that's a black land. I like that. Well, I would say, South Africa is a black.
It wasn't,
Yeah. But it's a native black
Yes.
land. But you felt different.
Yes.
And also from Canada, you felt different.
Yes.
So you were born here in Canada, and you feel different.
Yes.
And you went to South Africa in school, and you felt different too, because your accent
My accent.
was not as.
But in Canada, I just felt different because of my color, because of my family, because at the time where I was living, there wasn't people who looked like me. I remember going to school with braids in my hair. People would be so amazed of the braids I had in my hair, or the lunches I had to take to school. People would either be interested or mostly made fun of me, but
for your lunch.
For my lunch. But that's all kids
And this is
know.
here in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, how different was your lunch compared to other?
I mean, obviously, in elementary school, Lunchables were the thing, or like getting pizza, McDonald's, me having like jollof rice.
Ooh, jollof rice.
Shito,
too.
like fried yam or something. I don't think I have banku, no person.
No,
that's
no,
too much.
that would be too extreme.
Or like having buffalo and everyone's having Timbits or something, for example. Stuff like that, or bringing malt to school and
the tiger malt.
Yeah, the tiger malt, and having to explain to my teachers that this is just a drink that we have, but they think it's in a glass beer bottle shape. It's alcoholic. It's something bad. So having it get confiscated a lot, and having to explain to them it's just like what we drink back home. It's nothing special.
So when you're here, you feel a bit different sometimes. It's not always though. But the difference that you feel is not always.
It just depends.
It depends on in the context or the situation,
the environment.
The environment.
Yes.
And then you go out from here to. How did you feel different going to Ghana? Was Ghana
going
any
to
different?
Ghana, it was actually
South
a little.
Africa?
It was better than South Africa
okay.
because I was raised with the African culture already via my parents. So it
Which was
wasn't,
the Ghanaian culture.
Yeah, the Ghanaian culture.
Sure, okay.
Like if I go to Ghana, I can understand when someone's speaking Chi. I can understand when someone's speaking Ga or Ewe, like the different tongues. Like, and I'm able to, even if they're speaking broken English, I can understand their broken English, versus going to South Africa and listening to their broken English because I'm not familiar with South African stuff. I'm just more familiar with the Ghanaian culture because that's basically who I am. That's what I am.
I like that. Well, anyway, so yeah, what would you like to add to our conversation today?
I mean, just having the ability to be in a position that I am is pretty, it's hard sometimes, but it's very unique. I'm still learning as I go, because one moment I'm too Canadian, next moment I'm an immigrant, and it's just hard. Like, where do I belong? where do I see myself, because I know I was born here, but at the same time, I love my background. I love hearing my mom speak the language she speaks. I love eating the food I want to eat. I love dressing in like traditional clothes and all that cool stuff. But I also am happy that I was blessed enough to be born in a free first world country that has been able to help me in whatever I needed to achieve to become the person I am today.
Oh, that's really good. I really like that. Thank you so much, Nina. And thank you for joining us for another episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.
Bye.